Welcome back to Mustache Moto. It's Ben, and today I'm going to start a new series of videos. These are all geared towards beginning and new riders. So the reason I'm doing this is my son, who became a U.S. Marine this year, he's decided he wants to get into riding. So this is awesome. I'm really excited for him. But I keep having all these little things that I've picked up, all these lessons I've learned over 30 years of riding. All these things pop into my head and I want to teach them to him, but he's 2,000 miles away and he's working. So there's no way for me to just impart all this wisdom to him. So what I decided to do was start a video series. These videos are going to go through everything from the things you wear to different riding strategies, basic maintenance, what to look for on your bike. All the little things that I've learned over these 30 years that I want him to know and I want you to know. So we're going to start off today with this with a video on what to wear when you ride, and then we'll move on from there. So keep watching, subscribe, follow these videos. Let's jump in. The first piece of equipment you need when you're going to ride, of course, is a helmet. Not required in every state, but you should wear one no matter what every time you ride. Different kinds of helmets. There's the half helmet that just kind of covers the top of your head. That's what you see a lot of Harley riders wear. Doesn't do a lot for protecting you. Do not recommend that at all. So the next step up from that would be an open face or 3/4 helmet. Let me flip that on for you. So this helmet gives you good protection around the back, sides, top. You don't have any face protection other than the plastic shield to keep things from hitting you in the face, but much more protective than a half helmet. I don't know if you can see, but I'll redo this. But you go through the double D-ring and back through one to keep it on. That clips. Let's see. There we go. So you got good coverage here, not on the face though. So that's decent coverage. The nice thing about this is you get a really wide field of view. You can really see out of these helmets, and that's probably their biggest benefit. Also a lot of airflow. If you're in a really hot environment, you get more air, going to keep you cooler. Next up is a modular helmet. So this is a cross between an open face like this and a full face helmet. Full face helmet would be the next level of protection. It covers your entire face, solid chin bar, full protection. On this modular helmet, you can wear it like that, which I do most of the time when I ride, but if you need better vision, or you want to stop and talk to your buddy on the side of the road, or you just at a stoplight need some fresh air, you can flip that up and you get full protection. So you kind of split the difference. A little less protection because, of course, it's not going to be quite as strong structurally with it coming up, but it's pretty darn close. And you got the full protection on your face. This one even has drop-down sun visor, and I've got built-in communicator on here, so I've got Bluetooth, and I can make phone calls or talk to my buddy with it. So those are your helmets. This would be my preference for most situations. If you're going to be in a a race, you probably want a full-face specific helmet. If you're just more in the neighborhood, slower, and want that open feeling, maybe go for the open face of the 3/4. Next to your helmet, the most important piece of gear is going to be your jacket, what you're wearing to protect yourself in the event of a crash. So this is a leather jacket. This is like a racing jacket. It's a Dainese. It's got actually hard armor in the elbows and the shoulder. It's really thick leather, so it's a little bit stiff. It's kind of pre-curved. Looks good. It gives great protection. I mean, leather is probably the best material you're going to find because you wreck and slide on that, it's not going to wear through. It also lasts a really long time. This jacket is 20 plus years old, still looks great, still fits really well. But it's not the most comfortable. This one's pretty stiff, and then that hard armor in there isn't great, feeling wise. And then it's not waterproof at all. So you're going to need some kind of rain gear, something to cover yourself up if you intend to ride year round, or if you ever get caught out in the rain. Next, we have this Vanson leather motorcycle jacket that's perforated. This also has armor in it, but it's soft armor, so it's a lot more flexible, a little less protective, but much more comfortable. perforated so you get a lot of airflow, so it's a lot cooler if it's warm weather. In the summer, you want to wear something like this, although I think you can get a liner for it to make it a little warmer. It's really not for cold weather. Also, of course, you're going to get wet if it rains on you. But the bonus is, I mean, this is about as sexy as you're going to get. I mean, that's a good looking jacket. If you're more interested in versatility and practicality, something like this Tourmaster textile jacket is the way to go. This thing is fully waterproof. It's got vents on the arms and the shoulders and the front and the back, so it lets a lot of airflow through. The nylon isn't going to be as protective as leather, but it's pretty good. It's got extra heavy duty nylon on the outside like Cordura. It's got elbow and shoulder pads that are soft so they're comfortable, a back pad, but it will add extra protection and help keep you from grinding all the way through it should you get into a wreck. Also probably it's going to be the warmest of the bunch, and it comes with a zip-in like fleece lining to get extra warmth, or you can just wear more clothes underneath it. So really all around, this is probably the best bet, best bang for your buck, and the most versatile jacket you're going to get. All right, last, if you're in a really hot climate, something like this might be the way to go. And this is a built jacket, and it is full mesh. So lots and lots of airflow. It's the coolest jacket that I have, but it still offers a fair amount of protection. It's got elbow and shoulder armor in there. That's going to help protect you if you slide, so you don't get all the way down to your skin. Also protect you when you hit, if you hit the ground, with some impact protection. It's going to be cool, obviously. I think it came with a zip-in lining you could put on if it's cold in the morning or cool in the morning and then gets hot during the day. But definitely a good way to go if it's super hot. It keeps you from getting overheated and losing your concentration. Another thing you can do if it's really hot is stop and dunk this in the water, like in a stream if you're out in the woods, and put it on, and then the evaporation helps cool you even more. It's a little pro tip for you. You need to have some kind of hand protection while you're riding, so you need gloves. So the simplest, cheapest, in a way a lot of people go, is just regular old work gloves. So these are some mechanics gloves from Home Depot. You know, they got nice sturdy palms on them. They got a Velcro closure that's going to keep it tight on your wrist so they don't come off. Not the best protection you're going to get, but they are pretty comfortable, and they're easy to get, and they're better than nothing. Next up are some quality riding gloves. These are held. They got kangaroo skin leather, so that's super abrasion resistant. They'll slide without ripping. They've got hard knuckles on them to help protect if you hit your hands. A lot of new ones, the pinky is sewn to the next finger, so it gives you extra strength there, because the pinky's really easy to break if you fall on it. These are summer gloves. They've got a lot of venting. But you want to make sure any gloves you get have some kind of a Velcro closure and a cuff to kind of keep the gloves on, but then also to keep the wind out. That helps a lot. These are more race style gloves. These are technique gloves. They got hard plastic with a lot of padding underneath them, hard stuff in the fingers, real high gauntlet on these, so they go real far up your arm. And then they've also got, there's a smaller piece of Velcro here to keep it tight on your wrist, and then also Velcro on the gauntlet. So that really holds the glove on. If you're in a wreck, it's not going to come off of you, and it gives a lot of protection. I wear these during the winter or in cooler weather, but because there's no venting on them, they're not quite as comfortable as the held gloves, but a lot of protection. Finally, these are my winter gloves. These are thick, they're insulated, they're waterproof, and they're electric. So they actually are heat up, keep your hands nice and toasty warm in the winter. The downside is you definitely lose out on protection. These are nylon, there's no hard parts in them. I guess there's some kind of synthetic suede on the palms, but there's no real leather in them. It's a trade-off. Definitely not going to protect you nearly as well as these other gloves, but they're going to keep your fingers warm, and maybe that's going to keep you out of an accident. I go for the trade-off. I don't like cold hands, and I definitely ride in cold weather, but also definitely an option. All right, next, you're going to want to have some pants on while you ride. At least if you don't want to get arrested, you should. So jeans really are not that great to ride in. I actually do it quite a bit because, well, lots of reasons, lots of excuses that I probably shouldn't make, but I do wear them a lot. better than wearing shorts, but the cotton is really not going to give you much protection if you fall and you slide. So not the best thing to ride. Where also, if they get wet, they just hold the water. They're just cotton. They soak it up. So that's kind of a uncomfortable thing. The next level of protection would be Kevlar lined jeans. These have Kevlar in the bottoms and then all the way down the thigh, across your knee, down to your shin. So that's going to hopefully, if once the cotton wears off, if you were to wreck, it's going to keep from grinding all the way through to your skin. These also have pockets in the knees and shin for armor, as well as in the hip. So that gives you kind of another level of protection over jeans, but it still gives you the look of jeans. They are a lot hotter, so in the summer, they're hard to wear. All right, my choice for a long day of riding or when I'm traveling and touring are these Sedici pants. They're mesh, nylon, so they've got a lot of ventilation in them. They've got armor in the knees. When you're on the bike, they fit in just the right spot. They've got hip armor, lots of pockets, and even though they're mesh, they do have a quilted lining, so you can wear them in cooler weather, or you can just wear long johns underneath them. So a lot of protection, much more abrasion resistant than your jeans are going to be, but decent amount of airflow, so they're more comfortable than the Kevlar lined jeans. And just, yeah, I've really, really liked them. They've done a really good job for me. If you want even more abrasion protection, we've got full-on leather pants. These are perforated, part of them, solid leather, multiple layers, super thick. These are just tough, tough, really strong pants. These are Vansons. They're hot, definitely hot, even in the summer, but you don't want to wear them in the winter either because it's perforated, so you can get too much airflow. And I don't know, while the black leather Vanson jacket I think is really good looking, this, I guess it just depends on your style. I don't generally go around in black leather pants. Some of y'all might like that. If you want the ultimate in protection, but not the ultimate in comfort, something like these Dionysi race leather pants. Now these actually have a full circumference zipper and they zip to that jacket that I was wearing earlier, so it makes it a one-piece suit, which you probably need if you're going to go on the track. So these have hard armor all the way down to your feet, all the way down the shins, over your knees, knee sliders, so when you know you're super badass and you're going to drag your knee on the ground, it's going to protect you and you'll be able to feel the ground with it. You know, it's pre-curved, it's padded all up in the thighs, in the butt, in the hips. Really, really good protection, but not real comfortable to wear, and you kind of look like a tool. Finally, you need something over your feet. You want to make sure it at least covers your ankles and ties securely. Going over the ankles will give you a little bit of protection with the padding, but it'll also keep it from flipping off should you get in a wreck. Now these are just some Merrell kind of hiking boots. They're okay, they're not the best, but I tend to ride and then have to walk a lot, so I kind of make a compromise with that. They're decent, not the best. I also have a pair of waterproof ones in case it's raining. One thing to be really sure of, if you're wearing something with laces, tuck these laces in. The last thing you want to do is be riding and you come to a stop and go to put your foot down, and it turns out the loop from your laces is caught on your shift lever or your brake lever. It's happened to me. Luckily, I caught it before I came to a complete stop and fell on my ass. So pay attention to that. This is a pair of Oxford riding boots. They're specifically made for motorcycles. They got a few extra features in them. Of course, they're high, so they're way over the ankles. They've got hard plastic on the ankles. It's got a zipper to get in and out a little bit easier. An extra flap of leather on here where your shift, well, the shift will be on this side, but where you're hitting the levers. And then the toes have a hard cap in them. Also waterproof, decently stiff heel. The ultimate level of protection for your feet would be race boots or motocross boots. Those are fantastic for riding in. You can't walk in them though, so those really don't work for me because I've got to get on and off the bike all the time. But if you're going to be on a track or you're going to be riding all dirt, that's what you want to do. Now you know what you need to wear to help keep yourself safe, so get out there and ride.